morning, my friends, and welcome back to my recycling challenge 1,000 pounds in this year, 2023. And I wanted to show you some of the things that I'm recycling, but also just some of the ideas that I'm sending out to you and that I'm learning along the way. And I think that's the importance of recycling is that, and living, is that we are always learning. So my 1,000 pound challenge is to divert 1,000 pounds of things that would normally go into the uh, landfill or down the drain. And although the liquids I'm not actually weighing, but I am recycling them. And this is a new one for me, so I wanted to share it with you. So let me just start at one end and kind of show you what I'm doing, and then I'll take you back for the results. If you'll please hang on. Okay, so over here, let's start on this side. We have all the things that we recycle that if you had a family and you were throwing out your cereals if they got stale, what have you, you would put that into your recycling. We pretty much eat ours on schedule, so that's not a problem. But my boxes, they get shredded and they get put into my compost or into my worms. I make a and of course, any cereals, anything along those lines, anything that you would decide, oh, I can't use that, I'm going to throw it away. Don't throw it away. Feed it to your compost, feed it to your worms. I make a wonderful soil. I do this like twice a year. And if I have any grass clippings that are left over, my friend Brian brings them down for me and I use them as a weed suppressant. I take this cardboard and I lay it down like around my plants, like around the collar of the plants. And I mean, I just lay it all down so that if there's a double layer somewhere, so be it. And then I put grass clippings on top, and it means I don't have to weed. But I've also done this a few times where I've just taken shredded paper and shredded cardboard and actually added that, that and the grass clippings together. And that's my cold compost. If I have any extra coffee grounds or something that you would normally add to compost. But I live in Florida and we have a lot of little critters in our backyard. And if I make it too enticing for them, then they will take over. I don't want mice. I don't want rats. Anything in there that's going to be crawling around and jump out at me. Anyway, if I add this pretty much more grass clippings than I do the shred, and I turn that about maybe once a week. Within about 4 months, that turns to soil. I should have brought some in, but I get loads of worms in it. The soil is black and rich and fluffy, loomy. Back to anything like if you have seeds. We had bird seeds and we decided to stop feeding the birds because we were having the raccoon was just terrorizing the bird feeder as well as the squirrel. I was buying more bird feeders than I was bird seed. I add some cornmeal actually to my worms. I don't count this in weight, but I do add it to my worms. But if you had stuff that was stale, add that to it. I've told you before about coffee grounds and the coffee filters, and these filters make a great base for planters. And the coffee grounds, of course, are high in nitrogen, and they're great if you want to sprinkle them around the base of your plant. This weight, of course, I do count. I also save all of my fresh fruit peels, banana peels, strawberry tops, any of those things. And those things go to my worms instead of going down the drain. And or most people just throw this in their trash. And I think, oh my goodness, there's something that how many years does it take to break down? Your eggshells, wash them, don't wash them. I don't see a big difference. Some people get real technical and they say that you could have salmonella in there and you're adding it to your worms, etc., etc. So rinse it if you feel better. I like to pulverize mine because they break down much faster. I don't have that grit. I actually use a coffee grinder so that, it grinds it very, as you can see, this is very fine. And I don't have a problem. It's wonderful. So there's my coffee shells. I'm sorry, my eggshells. We had shrimp a couple nights ago, and I normally will take these and put them in the same grinder that I use for my eggshells and coffee beans, and I get a real fine powder, and this adds chitin to my worm bin. Goes for the worms. It's good for them, and it also is good for my soil when it comes out. But I was thinking about taking this and just putting it in a mesh bag and making a tea out of it, maybe adding a little bit of molasses to feed any bacteria that would be in my rainwater starting. And, what a wonderful way to get fungi, healthy fungi, into your soil. So I have some things that I have been soaking or just taking the liquids out of, and I am going to add them to my soil. And I think it's very interesting. The first thing, this is just, I was boiling my eggs, and I don't add any salt to the water, but this is egg water. Now I do add a teaspoon of vinegar to my egg water. I've been told that it keeps them from cracking, and so far so good. So it's just, water with a little bit of calcium that's leached out and a little bit of vinegar. I also have rice water, and this is just water that's been poured over the rice before I cook it, and I left that, and it's still pretty watery, but you can see it's just starting to get cloudy. Now the interesting ones. Now this was corn from Friday night, and this is early Sunday morning. So this is 36 hours, and I can tell you that this came out a lot clearer. So it's starting to strengthen in color. And this was corn water from a can, no salt, no extra salt added. And it's got to be the sugars in there that are just starting to feed. Yeah. But the one that's really interesting, the night before we had canned peas, and I thought, oh, okay, all right. There was, I rinsed the thing. There was nothing. Yesterday, nothing. This morning, actually, nothing. When I turned the lights on, there was a film on the top. I want to see that, if you can see that. It's actually got to be a fungi or bacteria of some sort growing on the top of this. Isn't that amazing? So, what are we, 60 hours later, 2.5 days? I hope my biology friends will tell me, what the heck is that? So anyway, I'm just, I'll add it to my, either to my compost, or I will put it in my rain bucket, in my sprinkling can, swish it around, and then, maybe pour it on the soil of my compost, my cold compost, and see what comes up. So those were my interesting things. I hope you guys will get back to me on what you think they might be. Rick bought some shoes. And when he brought them home, he always leaves things on the table now. He says, I'm afraid to throw anything away. So, of course, these are paper towel rolls and toilet paper rolls. But here's the shoes. And this product must be recycled. paper and cardboard, because I've given them to the worms before, soaked it in water and given them to the worms, and within about 2 weeks, they're just totally disintegrated. You don't see it at all. But I wanted to tell you that the box and the shoes were 12 ounces. So 3/4 of a pound towards my goal. So hang on there a minute. I'm back. And let me tell you how we did this week. I'm wearing my t-shirt that we bought in Disney World here, France, the country, in honor of Nick the gardener. He and his whole family just went to Disney, Euro Disney in Paris. And of course you have the Mickey umbrella with the girl underneath standing by the Eiffel Tower. So it actually came from Paris. Their manufacturing probably came from China, actually. But anyway, I'm wearing it for you, Nick. This week, I thought I'm not going to make it because this is Sunday morning. This was Saturday night, going back, 14, 15 hours. And I was just going in to take a shower. I've been working out in the yard. My eyes have 99% recovered. I'm still using the extra drops. But I had conjunctivitis, for people who are wondering what is going on. And so yesterday was kind of my day. I was trying to play catch up. And I was ready to go in and take a shower, and I looked on the front porch, and there was a big bag of grass clippings for me. I went, oh no, I have to count that. So I actually had 15 pounds by myself, and Brian brought 32 pounds. So together we came out with 47 pounds, 11.2 ounces for the week. For those of you who are keeping totals on my grand total, this is week 25. We are almost to the halfway mark, and my total is 724 pounds, 1.3 ounces, so 724 pounds. So I'm well on my way to 1,000. I have no doubt that one way or the other I'll make it, even if Brian decides to stop doing this. I think I can pretty much 10, 15 pounds a week. Although, boy, my closets are really getting clean. I keep going through them and going, oh, I can wait, let me throw this away. Oh, I don't need that box. Oh, wait, here, let's put that away. So anyway, that was it. I want to keep making these shorter so that maybe you'll stay. I understand that YouTube is changing their requirements and going from 1,000 subscribers to only 500 subscribers, and from 4,000 watched hours in a year to 3,000 watched hours in a year. So I'm getting closer to the goal, but I'm only at 1,800 for the hours for the year. And I really don't see much of a change in that, because apparently I'm not razzle-dazzle enough. So I would appreciate if you did watch completely through. Of course, if you haven't, you don't hear my plea. But anyway, if you pass it on to your friends or watch one of my playlists, I would be most appreciative. So with that, I will say I hope everybody has a great Sunday, and that you'll come back and see me again next week or during the week. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. And don't forget, garden what you've got. Use what you have on hand. Take care. Bye-bye.